Hello everyone. I've been asked by a few people to show my survivors and their badges, so I thought I'd do a quick video to run through some of my main survivors I use. The main thing to bear in mind is I have two types of survivors. You've got your glass cannons, which are people who can do massive damage but can't take a hit. And they're the offensive classes usually, so that would be your scouts, warriors and hunters, shooters. And you've got your tanks, which are those designed to be able to take hits, but don't tend to do massive damage. Those are your assaults and your bruisers. So I'll start with some of the main teams I use and the people I use, and I hope you find it interesting. So I'm going to start with my favourite character, which is Beta, or Beta for our American, my American viewers. Got him re-rolled, so I took Iron Skin off and put Lucky on because I don't want him taking a hit. And with glass cannons, I always go 3 damage, 3 critical damage. Try to put some of the best badges I can on him. There are a few where couldn't quite get the conditions to work, but were the best badges I had in that position. I've got a couple without any conditions on him. He's got Power Strike and Ruthless, so I've got those at least. The next survivor I'll show you is Yuji. I've recently re-rolled some health badges to give him as much health as I possibly could. I believe I'm 1% off max health at the moment with these badges. The top left one could be a 27, but I'm pretty happy with it. I haven't actually been able to take him out for a spin to see if it makes that much difference from in maps, but what I've done is obviously tried to find perfect badges with perfect trait, so managed to get Retaliate, Dodge and Retaliate on his health badges. I've also got him at just short of 80% damage reduction, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. They're just the best badges I could find. I would have worked it out at the time, but with tactical on a weapon as well, it's definitely over 80, so I'm more than happy with that. Traits wise, it's the standard Bruiser traits of Dodge, Retaliate, Punish and Lucky. And then in this team, I would normally have probably a scout. Usually it's opening boxes, so I've gone for Scout Glenn. He doesn't have the best badges on. To be fair, I'm not often killing people at high level when you're searching for boxes, but if I need him to finish off something Beater's hit, then he needs a bit of damage and critical damage on him. I don't have any which really fit him for trait conditions, but they are all of the same set, so they all get boosted by the 20%. Let's go for Sasha next. So Sasha I've got with Lucky, Critical Aim, Ruthless and Revenge. Some people like Marksman on her for more extra damage. I like Revenge from previous version updates of the game where you were taking hits with your assaults and your tanks. She was able to get charged back up. Obviously not so much need for that nowadays with a certain character, Yumiko, being able to charge her up pretty much constantly. Again, she's not fully legendary badges. She does alright for me. I know how much damage she does, which is the main thing you want to know, because that can let you know in a map if you're going to kill something, if you're going to take it down enough for someone else to kill something. So even not having the best badges, knowing how much damage they do is really important. She's badged up to go with Shane, so I've got a lot of hunter bonuses. I say some too. And I often use her with Haggy as well. Well, sometimes use her with Haggy as well, so she had a shooter badge on there as well. Usually with Sasha, as I say, I have Shane. I've got him with Marksman, Lucky, Ruthless, and Critical Aim. Love the Critical Aim trait on all my hunters if I can. Being able to stun things is just a lifesaver on certain maps. I haven't got Revenge on him. Reason for that is that I want to control when I explode a group of walkers, and with his leader trait, and Revenge can sometimes mess that up. If one a low level walker comes and hits someone, you blow it up on Revenge, and the rest of the horde comes forward after that, untouched from the exploding bullets. His badges are as good as I could get on him. Ruthless and Ruthless, always going to be active because he has it. He used to be with an Assault with Sasha, so he's got the critical damage of Assault. He probably still would be, to be honest, in a team with Sasha and an Assault at the moment. So that's a pretty good trait for him. One blue badge, because I don't have any other critical damage badges that go in that slot. So let's go to an Assault next, and I'll show you my tank Assault. So same traits as a tank Bruiser. I've got Iron Skin on her because there isn't really another defensive trait out there, and it does mean that I can keep a legendary damage reduction badge free for someone else. As much health and as much damage reduction as I can get on her. That's basically what you're looking for. So these are her badges. Again, with Hunter, because she's nearly always with Sasha. No, I don't want to do that. Who should I go for next? Let's do some scouts. So I've got Rick. He's got a blue badge on. I've tried to get the traits on him, the conditions on him with traits that he has. They're not the greatest badges, but they're pretty good. And again, I don't have any other better critical damage badge to put in space of that blue one. And I'll show you Daryl next as well. Similar sort of thing. As many, all in a set, as many legendary badges as I could, and green conditions for his traits that he has, so they're always active. He's never with Dwight, so that critical damage badge is never going to get a trait activated. But yeah, there is a sort of pattern to these badges, in so much that they're all either damage and critical damage, or health and damage reduction. Min-maxing on those, because I used to have some hybrid badges, hybrid survivors, which had a mixture of badges, but they just, at lower levels, your full damage teams are taking everything down, and at higher levels, your hybrids aren't taking hits and they aren't taking them down either, so it seems a bit of a waste to do that. This is my Hilltop Maggie. Again, full set of the same shape, but one blue badge on there. I've gone for with Hunter and with Scout, because I did start using her with Shooter Rick quite a lot, particularly after the buff to shooters. But even then, it's just not good enough to use that team really at the moment. Again, being able to only hit one target, unless it's a charged shooter week, they need to be charged pretty much constantly. So Sasha with a shooter is still preferred for me. Other shooters I've got, Aaron. He's down the pecking order. I'm not a big fan of Aaron. So he's not got the greatest badges on. I don't even have a full set of them. I've got Rick, who I do quite like. I like his leader trait, but unfortunately shooters just aren't viable at the moment still. They just need a little bit more work, just to make them more rounded and more usable in more situations. Tara's badges, I've gone damage, critical damage, but they're rubbish. I never use her. I know people have got her defensive. At the moment, I don't have enough defensive badges to waste on a shooter, and use her and 2 bruisers to get through some early maps, but I it's not something I've done or planning on doing. I've got Yumiko. I've built her for damage, but these are just badges I've thrown on that didn't really fit on anyone else. It's quite nice to be able to use my iron skin badges at the moment, but I will be re-rolling her and taking iron skin off, so she'll lose a bit of damage there. I know people don't like killing with her, but when you've got a tank with a tiny bit of health left and you want it gone, then it's always good to have be able to do that damage if you need it. As for rerolls, I'll be rerolling Iron Skin and Revenge and putting Critical Aim on, as well as Lucky. I'm hoping for Lucky first, just so she has 100% chance of cripple with the cripple bow. Let's go through the rest of my hunters now. So we've got Alpha, mixed bag of Legendary and Blue, which doesn't get used that often, and my non-hero, again, a bit of a mixture. Again, doesn't get used particularly often. Rest of my bruisers, I've got Right Good Glenn. Again, much health as I can get on him. He's not far off max health either. And damage reduction to 80%. Standard traits. My non-hero doesn't actually have any badges on. He's normally in the outpost. Morgan, again, same thing. Most health I can get on him. He's down the pecking order, so he doesn't get the greatest badges. T-Dog, he's not doing too bad. Health-wise, he's my third bruiser nowadays. And Negan, similar to T-Dog. He's not bad, actually. I quite like his new leader trait. Quite fun to use, although, again, just missed the mark a little bit, not being able to mark the walkers you want. There's always, if there's a choice between the tank and the normal walker equal distance, it seems to want to choose the normal walker. I'll show you these. I should just go through in order, really. That's my Jesus. He never gets used, so he's not got great badges on. And same with Abe. He's got pretty decent badges. I'm not even sure if he's got 80% damage reduction at the moment. And he's got pretty good health badges, so it's something to work on. Governor is probably one of my only hybrid survivors still, and that's purely for scavenging. You can take a hit if needed from a relatively low level walker, and you can pretty much kill them as well. So he's just got some random badges on, but I've got my old flat damage badges on him, because bruisers, assaults have such low base damage anyway, but flat damage is actually boosted quite a lot, so it's good use for those. One thing I did want to do is the alternative builds. So assaults are usually tanks. I've got Princess built as a damage dealer, so offensive, and she's got critical damage and damage on her. The reason I've done this is I've got a couple of defensive assaults who I can use if needed to take a hit, but Princess is there to actually deal some damage. She's was built particularly to work well with Shane, helping chip away at the health to lower it so that he can explode it with his charge attack or normal attack. She's got a damage boost in her leader trait as well, and she gets charged, so it's a win-win. Obviously works pretty well with Yumiko as well. Speeds up the whole creep and crawl tactic that is being used widely at the moment. The other flipped is Father Gabriel. I've got him defensive because his leader trait gives you a good chance of dodging and gives you luck as well, so you have more chance to convert those critical hits to normal hits against you. I've given him gold dodge and gold lucky in his weapon and armour. He's got interrupt on it as well, so he can stand, and if he does interrupt, great. If he doesn't, he might take the hit anyway. And he's at 80% damage reduction and as good health badges as I could spare for him. And the next one is Dwight. He's built to attack Guild Wars defences, so he's got a bit of damage, bit of critical damage, and he's quite defensive, so hopefully be able to take a hit from those non-badged survivors and save me a bit of gold in Guild Wars. I don't really use him anymore because I've gone for a Hilltop Maggie and 2 Bruisers team. Kept some tokens on him as well because I want to re-roll some traits at some point, but I'm in no rush with him, so I'll just leave him be. Also hope that someday they'll up his leader trait or do something to his leader trait. I've also got Ezekiel defensive. It's something I've been playing with, particularly with the Morning Star, hoping that having him as a semi-bruiser, being able to go in a stun and maybe take a hit. I need more health on him for it to work, and I just don't have the spare health badges at the moment. So something I'm working on. It's not too bad at lower levels, but yeah, I've re-rolled Retaliate on him so that it stacks with his leader trait, so he'll actually do more damage on Retaliate at the moment. 50% more damage on Retaliate than he does normally, but having him defensive means that's not going to be much anyway. But something's better than nothing. I don't think there's anyone else really to show you. It's just the same sort of mixture of gold and epic damage badges on my offensive survivors. Don't even... yeah. All epic on Carol, don't use her. Got a mixture on Beth, wanted to give her a go. She's alright. She's a scout, so she does some pretty decent damage, but her leader trait is weak, considering how strong the other hero's leader trait was. It was released at the same time as her. And my non-hero warrior, just a mixture of stuff really. I'm not sure about having Retaliate on her, so probably going to re-roll that at some point, but again, not in any rush, so I'm just saving up the tokens at the moment until I'm ready to spend some on her. Re-roll Retaliate for strong, and I think she'll be good to go. Is there anyone else? Hopefully I haven't missed anyone important. Rufus. Again, want to re-roll his iron skin, but don't have enough damage reduction badges to do so. Okay, there's one that's better than that one. But yeah, I'll get to it at some point. So yeah, that's my people. Not the best video. I'm sorry for the bit of random way I've done it, but if there's anyone I've missed and you want to see, let me know in the comments, and I'll I'll show them at the beginning of in some video at some point, so you'll be able to see them. But yeah, I hope you found it interesting, and see you around. Thanks for watching.